Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Knights of the Dawn podcast. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Megan.
And today we are here to talk about Book 5 of Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull, Keys to the Demon Prison. And today we're going to be talking about chapters 19 through 23.
22,
that's it. Sorry. It'll be chapters Cormac through Mark. So two names on this one.
It's all names, actually. Cormac, Singing Sisters, Cormac, Rune, Singing Sisters, Mark.
Oh.
It's all names. I just realized that.
It's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
It's also nice, these ones, it's all alternating chapters, POVs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it.
It keeps us up to date on both Kendra and Seth, even though they're separate and doing different things. So we're not, losing one while the other gets too much spotlight.
It is a good balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into that, though, we would like to formally apologize for the minor hiatus that we accidentally took a couple weeks ago by the time this has come out. There was a location change. We lost access to our previous recording location, and we had to improvise a new one.
Yeah, so we're on a new recording setup, so we think it sounds good. In our tests it sounded good, so just be aware of that. If anything sounds really bad, you can go ahead and let us know, but
be nice,
I think
please.
we'll probably catch it in editing if it does.
True.
But yeah,
we'll do our best, but if you have any ideas to help us improve,
remember, we're amateurs still. This is a passion of love. This is oh my gosh, I just said the wrong thing. This is a project of passion.
That's
not of, I don't know, experience.
Definitely not experience. Anything but experience.
Doesn't matter if it's been 2.5 years since we started. It's still inexperienced.
The number of new vocabulary words that I now know to describe sound and different
audio
parts
stuff
of these audio setups is
astounding.
Honestly impressive. I feel very much more learned than I was before.
It's not enough for me to put on a resume, though.
No, nowhere near that good.
Anyway.
But let's dive into this. Why not?
All right. Let's talk about a leprechaun, shall we?
Of course his name is Cormac. Is there a more
Cormac.
Irish name than Cormac?
It's, Cormac. What's his name in?
Cormac McLagan.
McLagan. Harry Potter reference number 1.
We need to have a ding counter. Just whenever we make it, just insert a little
cards.
Ding.
A ding counter. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that would be fair. It would probably be broken by the number of times we used it, though. Let's be honest.
It would be broken by the amount of times we talk about not Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets in every episode. Anyway.
Indeed. Yeah, we could use a different soundbite from each movie to indicate different references.
Oh my gosh. This is not a Harry Potter podcast at all, so we're not going to do that. Okay, anyway, Leprechaun, Cormac. So, back when Seth sought guidance from Patton left him the message, and he said, go to this leprechaun, Cormac, who I have made deals with in the past. I left some stuff with him. You first have to trap him in order to talk to him and get him to give you the stuff.
I feel like a better word, though, than I have dealt with would be harassed in the past.
True, yeah.
If you, we get to talk with Cormac later, and the number of time he curses Patton's name is very amusing.
I feel like there could be a support group for people that have been harassed by Patton. I have been personally victimized by Patton Purchase.
A group lawsuit for all suing for damages. Ranticus.
Can't really sue a dead guy, can you?
Well, half the guys who he wronged are dead.
That's
so,
true, but I just think it's funny.
The dragon.
Okay, but all these magical creatures that are still alive and gosh dang you, Patton. And then the other ones who love him.
It's
funny.
one or the other. You either love the guy or you hate his guts. He's just one of those people. You can't feel meh about Patton Burgess. You gotta love him or you gotta hate him.
It's true.
And usually, the one or the other you feel usually aligns with your moral standing in life.
Yeah.
Alright. Anyways, so, as you were saying, yes. Patton recommended that they find a leprechaun named Cormac on the Fablehaven property in order to retrieve a music box, a bell, and a whistle. And
Those don't sound very magical at first.
No, not at all.
But
they are
very necessary.
They are essential, Patton says, for them to get to the shoreless isle where the entrance to Zizix is located. So,
yes.
Just minorly important items.
Mm-hmm.
So, he has enlisted, as we know, the help of Vanessa, Newell and Doran, as well as Hugo in his quest, and Newell and Doran have reluctantly funded this misadventure.
With their gold coins.
Because, as we know from Patton, leprechauns love gold.
Yeah.
They have crocks of it all over underneath rainbows, as we know, but they also cannot resist it if it's left unattended. That's how they collect, it's how they grow their hordes, and they have to grab. They're just absolute greedy little goblins, basically.
And we also learn, I think, kind of an interesting bit about leprechauns is that the same trick never works twice on them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to
learn.
You can't use the same trap that Patton used in the past. They have to come up with their own. Still pretty basic. They basically just leave out some gold in a bag, and then the idea is when he comes along, you just grab him. Mm-hmm. It
kind of makes me think of, and this is going to be a little bit of a different kind of reference poem, but my sister will appreciate it. Did you watch Avatar: Way of Water?
Once when it came out.
Well, you know how like
2 years ago.
They targeted like the whale creatures for like the little goo in their brains that stopped human aging.
Kind of.
It was the weird plot element, but like the animals themselves, they could only target a pod of whales once, because after that the whales would learn. Like one of like the rogue whale that ends up helping at the end.
Yes.
They try to use the same tactics on the same whale that he had seen being used on his mother, I think. And he was able to counter them easily because he's a very smart creature.
Okay.
So, I saw some random clips on YouTube the other day that made me think of it, and so when I was reading this, it
made you think of it.
It connected in my brain, yes, just a bit. So just little things.
Yeah.
It's almost like you shouldn't be hunting sentient creatures, but it's James Cameron movie. What do you expect?
Also, the satyrs provided a small flask of whiskey as well to entice Cormac to come. So basically, they're hiding in wait for Cormac to come upon them, and he does. He starts picking up the gold, and at first you can tell he's a little suspicious, but as we said, leprechauns just can't help themselves. So he falls right into their trap.
It's honestly his little monologue, because he says it out loud, but it's very much an inner monologue. He's like, it could be a trap. But maybe it's not. Maybe I would be a fool if I were to just take the bait and leave the rest of it. He's like, and he even says, Patton Burgess has been lying in a grave for many years.
Yeah. Patton lives rent-free in his head. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah. I bet Cormac would love to charge rent for it, but, And then the funniest thing is that once they catch Cormac, he squirms into his sack to collect the coins, and then Newell and Doran grab it and keep him trapped. Once Seth draws him out of the bag, he's like writhing around and cursing, and the first thing Seth says, "Hello, Cormac. Patton sends his regards."
Patton has such aura that he can say hello from the dead. Like,
literally, it's not even like rubbing salt in the wound. It's taking another knife and slicing the scar back open.
It's so funny because he literally was just like, Patton's not around to harass me, and then boom, his reincarnation is there.
You were saying? It's funny.
You have to deal with me now. Me being Seth.
But like the zero amount of craps that Seth is giving in this entire chapter.
Yeah, he's like, we need these items. You're not getting away until we get them.
He's like, do not mess with me. I have had a bad week.
Yeah. Also, he's very well informed because, like, while they're, like, talking and later when they, like, go to Cormac's little lair, he knows that, like, if he holds his beard, like, Cormac can use his magic to get into his lair, but without, like, using magic against them. He knows that he has to keep a hold on him or else he'll get away. Mm-hmm. Like, he did his homework.
Very much. Probably the first homework he did willingly and of his own accord.
Yeah.
Because I can almost guarantee Seth was one of those kids who absolutely didn't know homework and yet somehow aced. No, maybe not aced.
Probably not aced. He doesn't care about good grades.
No, but passed.
Well,
he could still pass.
We've seen him in school in book 2 a little bit.
Yeah, true.
So anyway.
Yeah, like, Seth is just like, I am done. He's like, and he also knows from Patton, like, leprechauns love their coat. Like, won't, like, they'll panic if you try to threaten to shave their beard. And he's just, and honestly, as someone who's gotten a lot of training to be a teacher, Seth is utilizing a lot of the correct,
oh my gosh.
What's the word? Like, progressing consequences.
Interesting.
Like, he outlines what's going to happen if he repeats the behavior.
And he follows through.
Behavior. That's what he is. It's correcting behavior. And he's like, I've said I'm going to do it, and I will do it.
He's gentle parenting Cormac.
I don't know if it's gentle, but... And honestly, though, half of the gold, of this situation is also Newell and Doran.
Yeah.
Because they are...
Cormac, like, takes all their coins, and they're like, wait, the bag is empty. How did you do that so fast?
There were 70 coins, and you were in there for, like, 10 seconds. The heck? But even then, it's really funny, like, when Seth finally says, take off the jacket until he agrees, Newell's undoing the buttons, and Cormac's, fine, I'll give you back the bell, the call, and the music box. Newell keeps going at the buttons, fine, and I'll also return the gold. And then Newell stops.
Yeah.
It says, like, Newell knows what he wants. And then...
He knows what's his.
But then, even funnier, later on, the leprechaun tries to divide and conquer, and he says to the satyrs, if either of you free me from the boy, you'll have a crock of gold each. And Newell actually hesitates, and I'm just like, dude.
And Doran's like, bro, come on.
The fate of the world is at stake here.
The fact that Newell is like, for just like a second is so funny. About it. Oh my gosh. You're like, bro, we have to be united. So basically the whole time Cormac is like calling them names like criminals, extortionists, devils. Yeah.
It's a good time.
It's funny how when Seth is like asking, he's like, you held these items for Patton, and then Cormac is like, Patton Burgess. He spat like profanity. Will that scoundrel ever quit haunting me? Even from the grave he reaches out to take what's mine. And Seth is like, no. Not what's yours. Ours. We want what's ours. What Patton left with you.
And like every time the Cormac tries to pull one over, like, well, that concludes our business. I trust you can find your way out. And Seth's like, no. Patton warned us. You're taking us out of here. And he's like, fine, just grousing and mumbling his way about it, because every step, every point he's being foiled and
he's
evaded.
Trying so hard to trick them, from getting into his lair, to being in his lair, to leaving. So, they go to his lair, get the stuff, and then when they leave, they are met with a surprise. Accosted, yeah, that's a better word.
6 centaurs, none looking too friendly.
Yeah. So basically, they had until, due to their agreement with Cloudwing, they had till nightfall to leave. However, because the centaurs claimed all of Fablehaven as their lands now, they had gone to the house to claim it, and then... Early. And found some wraiths guarding the house. And they are very irked by it.
Well, I'm irked just by this, like, this conversation that they have.
Their arrogance.
Such arrogance. Like, these centaurs are saying, your aggression towards us has negated our concession that you have till nightfall.
Yeah.
And Seth's like, what aggression have I shown you? I've put defenses around what belongs to me. And they're
like, no, you abandoned it.
No, it's abandoned. And he's like, clearly not. I am still here.
Like, I'm still alive.
Still alive and still here, therefore still able to claim the property. Like, that just frustrates me so much, because, like, up until this point, I feel like they've, at the very least, had logic on their side, but this is just clearly illogical and so far out of, like, they were just trying to be greedy and snap it up because they thought Seth was going to pull one over on them, and he did. So I guess I can't blame them too much for that, but still I'm going to.
Okay, but it's the arrogance that they believe they have the right to claim any land whatsoever, even though they don't. But that's
at least that's consistent with their character.
Yeah.
But the breaking of the agreement early just because they're greedy...
they don't see it as...
That just got me pissed at them.
they see that they think that Seth broke the agreement first by not like bowing and scraping to them to let them take over everything. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I'm not mad about I'm just mad because they're stupid and they're arrogant.
Yeah. And, Centaurs are jerks.
Centaurs are jerks.
We need that on a sticker.
We need it on a sticker immediately. That needs to be our first piece of merch.
I'm surprised Brandon hasn't done it. It'd be a good sticker. Centaurs are jerks.
Very good sticker. Also, now that, yesterday we went to a Renaissance fair and they had a jousting competition with, live trained war horses.
They were huge. They were Clydesdale.
Absolutely huge.
Weren't they?
One of them was. One of them was a Clydesdale. I think the other was
enormous.
They are... The horse I rode, he was 19 hands.
Oh my gosh.
That is huge.
Yeah.
I got to ride one for a few minutes.
She paid $10 to ride it.
It was worth it. But it was just super duper cool. And I'm because I'm already a very tall person overall.
Yeah.
Just on average.
You're 6'1"?
I'm on top of this horse. I felt so tall. It was huge. Yeah. And so, but it was really, really cool. And I'm just picturing now, imagine one of those galloping up to you with a huge buff armored torso attached to it as well.
Yeah. Could be. That'd be crazy.
I can understand, even
very intimidating.
That would be intimidating. I can see why cavalry in general is just an intimidating factor on any battlefield in general.
I can't imagine a stampede of war horses.
Dang, yeah, that just put a picture.
Well, actually, no, I can't because, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's true.
Rohan, anyway.
Anyways, horses are amazing, and they are beautiful creatures. Moving on. But centaurs are still jerks. That's why unicorns are great.
And this is why it's great that Vanessa's around, because she ambushes them and takes all of them out with the help of Hugo. But, she hits them all with, blow darts. It's crazy.
But, okay, there is, they're all helping. They're all doing their jobs. Newell and Doran are helping out. Hugo's taking out centaurs. But there were 6 total, and there's around 6 of them. So, inevitably, one of them gets to make a run at Seth. And so, yeah. I would like to read a brief paragraph. The centaur Newell had tagged with the stone fixed his eyes on Seth and charged, holding aloft a double-bitted battle axe. Doran launched an arrow, but, turning his axe like a shield, the centaur deflected the shot. Dropping the case with Patton's items, Seth drew his sword and held up his shield. Hugo was coming his way, but was not close enough to stop the centaur. Vanessa was reloading. Newell grasped for another rock. Doran reached for a second arrow. There was no time. Seth would face this charge alone. And the first thing he does, squares up. I was so proud of him in that moment.
He's brave.
He's brave. He's
facing down that warhorse.
He's facing down the warhorse, charging at him. He knows there's nobody there to help him, and he's just he's cool as a cucumber, ready to go.
He's like, well, I have a sword. Might as well use it.
Bending his knees, Seth angled his shield and held his sword high, hoping the centaur would believe he meant to meet the charge head-on. As the furious centaur bore down on him, Seth dove and rolled. The axe swished through the air above him. And then by the time it comes back around, Vanessa has reloaded and tagged the centaur. But just that moment of Seth being so calm and collected and knowing what to do in that moment. And Kendra has a moment very similar to this as well. Mm-hmm. In the same
later.
section.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that. But it really shows how much they've grown. Because, the last time Seth had to fight a centaur, he couldn't do it. And so Patton had to come in and do it for him.
That's true.
But in this time, he knew it was up to him, so he stood his ground and did what he needed to do.
I like that.
He's still not at Patton level. He couldn't have taken the centaur out on his own.
Especially not with no weapons.
No. But he can hold his own for long enough for someone else to get to him and help.
Yeah.
And I think that's just showing their growth over the past, 5 books, where they are no longer helpless, but with, certain traits that make them useful, like Kendra seeing in the dark, or there's just their impulsivity and there's another word I'm looking for. Ingenuity. There it is.
Ingenuity is a good word.
Thank you. It's them actually growing and becoming more capable. And, like, in this, I can see Seth becoming the next Warren, the next Patton Burgess.
Well, yeah. It's in his blood.
It's in his blood.
As we say every sinking episode. Every time I say it, I'm like, man, do people ever get sick of this? Anyway.
Hey, in our defense, next time it comes up, it's not going to be us saying it.
That's true. So, he avoids the centaur just long enough for Vanessa to take him down. And
because as good as he is, Vanessa is better.
Yeah, before we know it, all of them are down. Let's see.
And to be fair, they only, like, badly injured, it seemed, like, 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like, Hugo clotheslined
they didn't
them.
Kill him.
And one of them might have a concussion from Newell.
You know, it was long overdue. They deserved it.
True.
So, I like this because, like, she took out the darts. She took them out with the darts, and Seth is like, oh, those darts really knocked them out. And Vanessa makes a little bit of a joke. She's like, well, you know how I love putting people to sleep, Vanessa said. While foraging last night, I came across a sleeping toxin Tanu derived from Glomus. The dragon I killed at Wormroost, the most impotent I've ever encountered. And then we have Newell. You slew a dragon? Newell said in awe. What a woman, Doran mouthed.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking of?
No.
Have you watched Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yes.
Phoebus.
Not in a while.
It's Phoebus when he sees Esmeralda dancing. No, not dancing. When she's trying to escape the guards and she keeps, like, evading her, he's like, what a woman.
Just like...
I remember it specifically from, like, a clip from a trailer, because I don't think I ever watched that movie all the way through. I know all the important parts, like, you know, Hellfire and stuff like that. But I just remember that specific soundbite, like, what a woman.
What a woman. I just think it's so funny how Newell and Doran are just, like, kind of low-key obsessed with Vanessa, and Vanessa, like, does not give a crap. So Vanessa's like, okay, you got the stuff? Seth's like, yep, got it right here. And she's like, okay, so now we need to leave Fablehaven. We got what we need to get out of Dodge.
And she has a very, risky way of doing so.
Yeah, she is like, well, because of what happened here, the centaurs are going to be coming after us. So we need to get out, but before we do, I'm going to bite all of them so that I can control them if needed. So she bites them all, and then she takes control of Cloudwing. Which is pretty bold, you know? I mean, like, why not?
Like, and she says even, like, she's like, I have just signed my death warrant, basically.
Yeah.
When they find out, because, I mean, Cloudwing is going to realize that he's been possessed and taken somewhere else.
Yeah.
And, like, they'll see the marks on their necks. She's like, yeah, I can control all 6 of them now, but if they ever catch me, I'm dead. This is a unpardonable insult.
Yeah, she's probably used to that, though, being, like, a spy. People wanting her dead, so.
You're not wrong.
Just another Tuesday for her.
Mm-hmm. So, she has herself lashed to the body of the centaur of Cloudwing. Newell rides along chivalrously to prevent her from falling.
Wait. You skipped a good part. Right, Vanessa said through Cloudwing. Drape my body over the back of the centaur. I'll need someone to ride with me and steady me. Newell and Doran immediately raised their hands.
The reason Newell gets the honor is because he thought, oh, I'll lash you in place. And then once he gets the favor by suggesting that, then he's like, and I'll ride with you just to make sure.
Just to make sure. Oh my gosh. Cue the eye rolling.
It's very, very strong. Alright, but regardless, they managed to get out.
Oh wait, I forgot one part too.
What happened?
Or is this later? When they're like, when Seth is like, you guys are acting like Verl. Is that later?
No, that is here. No, we do have to go back. Okay. No, you're totally right. When they're leaving...
On the discussion of Newell and Doran fawning over Vanessa, we have to go back to this one part that we forgot earlier.
Hang on. No, we need to appreciate that pun.
Fawning over?
I don't care that they're not deer. I don't care. They have cloven hooves.
I did not...
That was too good.
That was so unintentional.
Again, I don't care that it's not perfect.
But
imperfection
satyrs,
is beautiful.
Fawns, basically the same thing. I mean, they're called fawns, and
the technical word is like fawning. It's like a baby deer. It's spelled differently. I don't care. It's too good. That was great.
That was so unintentional. I did not get it until you pointed it out.
That's why I knew we needed to. I'm like, hang on. That needs to be appreciated. For a
second, I was like, what pun do you mean?
No, it needed to be appreciated. All right. Going back, when they're first leaving the lair, before the centaurs show up of Cormac, they notice that a light rainfall has begun to fall over Fablehaven, and both the satyrs hesitate because they don't want to get their hair messed up for Vanessa. And Seth takes one look at them, sighs, and says,
"You guys are starting to act like Verl."
And they take one look at each other and jump out into the rain.
Yeah. One of them, like, messes up their hair. The other, like, rubs dirt and mud on their face and hair. And they're like, we're not doing that.
Like, Seth just did, like, a 10 out of 10. Snap his bros out of the love funk.
Seriously. It was perfect.
That was brilliantly done.
I forgot about that. It was so funny.
All right, well, now we're off to be Vikings.
Yep. Going from Ireland to, what is that? Scandinavia. Mm-hmm. Shipbreaker Fjord. So Norway, probably. Fjord.
Yeah, probably. It was giving, like, Viking stronghold.
Yeah.
And I mean, even later on,
Norway.
After Kendra remarked, because, like, they're decked out in stuff from the hold, she's like, we look like ancient Vikings.
Okay, well, Rune Osriksson.
Yeah, he's
like the naming. The naming convention is
Scandinavian.
Very Scandinavian. So, yeah. Now we're back to Kendra and Bracken and Raxtus.
Kendra,
some of my favorite characters.
Yes. Kendra desperately trying not to be distracted.
Yeah. No, seriously. That's what I was thinking.
Several moments.
They
where she's just like,
so
focus,
basically,
Kendra, focus.
Basically, what they did is last time. Previously in this episode, previously on Avatar. Previously. If you get that reference.
On Avatar.
They were leaving Living Mirage. Warren got raked across the chest or the back or something with poison harpy claws. And they had
it's the shoulder.
Shoulder. And they had to take him to a healer in Istanbul.
Constantinople, a long time
yes.
ago. We already
did the song again.
We
did this again.
I think we did it the last
We've
episode.
done it like 3 times. It's probably another thing people are getting sick of. So they left him at the healer, and then they're going to find one of the Eternals, and they're looking for a guy named Rune, as we were talking about, and they're stopping at this place called Shipbreaker Fjord, which is like close by. And Kendra is like freezing her butt off because it's like March, I guess it's technically early April, mid-April, but in like Norway, so it's still cold. And
she even remarks though, like the fact that like it wouldn't be so cold if not for the fact that they were flying.
Yeah, they're flying through the air at who knows how high. So she's trying not to freeze, and of course Bracken is like worried about her, and she's like trying not to, take too long.
It actually is really cute how she's like trying not to be to distract from the mission, and Bracken's just like, she's cold, we should have foraged for better winter gear.
Yeah.
She's like, it's fine. And I'm just like,
and she's like shivering.
Yeah. It's just nice to see.
But yeah.
Also, if anybody's wondering, I just looked up the definition for fjord. I've always kind of taken it as kind of just a alternative, like a Norse word for like a bay or a cove. So it turns out it's actually a long, deep, narrow body of water that reaches far inland.
Huh.
I think they're usually carved out by glaciers.
That makes sense.
Like, just like as glaciers move, they carve into the sides. I'd have to check that one. Oh, how are fjords formed? Okay. I'm correct.
Nice.
It is in fact glaciers. They just leave like these long paths of like kind of like canyons, but they still have water in them. Mm-hmm. And they're closer to the sea, or more directly connected to the
When
sea.
I hear fjord, I just think of Frozen.
You just hear Han's voice like looking out.
The fjord.
Like, the fjord.
It's frozen. It's solid, or what does he say? Whatever.
I think it just says fjord. The
it's
fjord,
frozen.
and it turns out, and it pans out.
He does
and
say
it just sees
fjord.
the entire thing freezing over. Yeah, but he does use the word fjord.
Yep.
In case you were wondering where Frozen takes place, it's in Scandinavia.
How many references to Norway can we make in this episode? Thor, Loki, Norse gods.
Brother band. They're
inspired
by Scandinavian.
They're
literally from Scandia.
I know. I just sometimes forget that like Vikings are like Norway, because I don't think of Norway that way anymore. You know, like modern Norway.
Yeah, no, you're right. But yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be a fun place to visit?
Norway's on my bucket list for sure.
Take me with you.
Girl that's never been to Europe that needs to go.
I need to. So, where does Kendra start pining for Bracken? It's somewhere in here.
Yeah, I literally made the note of like, man, Kendra's really distracted by Bracken. But like, same girl.
Like, even just like throughout this entire chapter, Bracken just does little things to try and help her, try to protect her.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain, I think it's later on, but a certain point where he's like, unicorns have always been drawn to virtuous maidens. And I'm like, boy, you got it bad.
Oh my gosh, bro. Like, he's trying so hard, but he's also like, can't help himself.
Like...
Okay, no, I think there's this point where she's like thinking to herself, he looks so young. He could be in high school. She could picture herself sitting next to him studying for a test or something like that.
Specifically a science one.
Yeah.
Like,
and then he comes up and talks to her and she's like, focus, Kendra.
I mean, I can't even blame her. Without it described. Like seriously, you can't blame her. He's like, he offers to build a fire, like, to warm her up. He, like, curses himself for not getting better winter gear for her. I mean, like, we see Kendra's side of it. We know that she's crushing on him. But it's nice to see that he's also kind of down bad for her. It's just, it makes it cuter.
It is. Oh, I love Bracken. And I know I never shut up about this. You can add this to the list of things people are, I guess, going to be talking about. But this is the Bracken that I missed in Dragon Watch.
We missed in Dragon Watch.
Everyone missed in Dragon Watch.
We missed Bracken in Dragon Watch, period.
That's true. What Bracken? He's not in Dragon Watch. Just cut that from my memory.
Except for Kendra to pine for.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, the entire time, like, in this... And, like, the later chapters, like, in the chapter with Mark, I was just like, this is Bracken. This is the Bracken I love. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Killing bad guys, because he does murder 2 guys. Not murder, but they are slain. He's slain.
They're coming after him.
That's true. All right.
They're bad guys.
First, we're going to talk about people that he did not kill, but there's a lot of them. So, Rune, as we find out, was quite the hunter.
Yeah, he had his own little, like...
Enclave?
Preserve of hunting grounds.
Yeah, so they find his holdfast, I guess, for sticking with like the Viking theme. I feel like that's a word.
What's it called?
Holdfast?
I have no idea.
I feel like that's a thing.
I don't really know that much about Vikings.
I feel like it's like a medieval, maybe it's more medieval than Viking-esque. Fort?
We should have gone to the Viking thing yesterday.
Fort. We should have gone to that.
We should have gone to the Viking thing yesterday at the Renaissance Fair.
Shame on us. Anyways, they go to his fortress. Let's go with
fortress. That's a good word, yeah.
And they find that the door has been splintered open and broken down. And Bracken's like, well, that's not good. Kendra, you're staying with me. Send the invisible dragon to investigate.
Yeah.
And so they go in. Raxus goes in.
While they're waiting, that's when he's like, unicorn. You know, she starts asking him questions about like, what's it like being a unicorn versus like being a human, and
this is also where the pining is.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't seem like a unicorn. His perfect skin, those keen eyes looking at her, fringed by long lashes. Derail the thought. Focus, yeah. Kendra, focus.
Well, and it's interesting because we learn more about Bracken, and she asks him, how exactly did you lose all of your horns? Is that too personal? You've told me the basics. He grinned. It's very personal. A unicorn's horn is his glory, but I'll tell you, it's almost impossible to take a horn from a unicorn. We normally have to give them. I gave away my first horn as a gift to a man who saved my life.
I would love to hear that story, saying.
It passed It has passed through many hands. I can still sense it out there. The next horn I gave away was my third horn. This was highly unusual. I'm not sure if any other unicorns have given theirs away, save perhaps Ronodin, the dark unicorn. Shout out, I guess.
If there were more light in this room, I would be holding my hand in it and casting a large foreshadow on the ground.
The dark unicorn.
Foreshadowing!
Foreshadowing, yeah. Anyway, who willfully corrupted his horns.
Wink,
To part with my third horn meant parting with my form as a unicorn, but it also meant sealing away the demon horde, so I surrendered it to Agid the wizard. So that's cool. We learned that Agid was one of the wizards who helped seal the demons up.
One of 5.
Yeah, 5 wizards. Blah, blah, blah. Losing my horn is a fun of immortality. And you've been stuck as a human ever since. That was the price. Why do you care so much? He regarded her pensively. Gorgrog, the Demon King, destroyed my father. Kendra felt she had pried too deeply. I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault. All this happened long ago. Like a long time ago. Not in a galaxy far, far away.
Okay.
Anyway.
No wonder you want to keep the demons inside of Zizix. Little matters more to me. And I would like to bookmark this. I will come back to it at a later point during this episode and bring something up, because there are some other things Bracken says that I think really lend into what his mindset was and has been since he gave away his horn. There's another, like, the juxtaposition with another character that we encounter will be very strong, and I think we can have a great discussion on it. Has this come up did this cross your mind as well?
No, but I know where you're going,
yeah.
so.
I'm excited to have this discussion.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Alright, so...
Well, what about your second horn?
Yes.
Kendra wondered. The Sphinx took it when he captured me. I mentioned that it was almost impossible to steal a horn of unicorn. The protections on our horns attack the emotions, but the Sphinx is a shadow charmer, and so he was immune to the effects. He took my horn with impunity and cast me into a dungeon.
Oh, I can picture it in my brain. He's cornered, the Sphinx just walks in, snatches it, and has him cast... Oh, I can just sense the smugness and the arrogance. Ugh. But it was a nice little recap right there for the same reason that Seth was able to get the unicorn horn from Grunhold during the last book. Mm-hmm. During Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary.
Good job. You got it right.
I finally
You were trying really hard.
It took me a second. I was like, one is keys, one is secrets, one is keys, one is secrets.
Keys, secrets, plague.
All right.
And a little bit later, when they're kind of talking about him being a human in general, I think it's really interesting. Well, first of all, being in prison, and he says, any creature hates a cage, he said, and any creature can cope if he tries. The hardest part was adapting to my human form. I'd never taken human shape before, but... I had taken human shape before, but never for a prolonged period. After becoming human for years, centuries really, I lived alone, wandering. The solitude was a hard habit to break. As the seasons changed and the years slipped by, my identity began to feel more diluted. Over time, I experimented with human society. I dabbled with friendship and duty. There are aspects of humanity that I have grown to cherish. I've worn many masks, filled many roles. It is difficult living as an unchanging being in a temporal world. It's such an interesting
It's very interesting. Like, especially because it implies, like, he has not spent all of his time in the fairy world. So this alone implies that he is probably matured more than many of his contemporaries in the fairy world. Mm-hmm. Like, he spent more time around mortality.
Yeah. And this is why he is able to interact so well with the humans. Even though sometimes he's like, oh, I feel kind of awkward, you know? Mm-hmm. But he's a lot more... Like, I feel like a lot of the magical creatures that we encounter are very, like, standoffish. Especially, like, fairies, you know? Like, they're there for a compliment, but that's about it, you know? Mm-hmm. For a lot of them. So... Bracken is uniquely experienced for this kind of mission.
He's uniquely nuanced as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He has more sides to him, more personality than most magical creatures.
He's not just...
Which is needed.
Yeah.
Additionally, like, it just mentions as well, like, how hard it was for him in the prison. He's like, he tried to make the best of it, tried to bond with other prisoners, tried to find life in the darkness, but his lifelong love is what is now around them. Like, they're in the middle of this beautiful fjord, the wind's blowing, beauty all around them. Like, how nice must it be for him to finally be out and able to breathe clean, fresh air?
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, he's been waiting...
And sharing it with a beautiful, young, virtuous maiden.
Hundreds of years, because it was the Sphinx who captured him, so...
Yeah. I wonder if, like, the Sphinx ever, like, taunted him with his third horn as well.
Oh.
That would be...
Dang.
Evil.
That's true, because he had it the whole frickin' time.
Or maybe he, like, when he finally found it and, like...
He's the font.
Because I imagine Bracken is... I imagine that in all of the research that the Sphinx has done, knowing that it's a horn of a unicorn, and he finds a unicorn without its third horn.
It could also be fairly well-known knowledge. Maybe not super fairly well-known.
Maybe it
but, like,
was.
kind of known that Bracken is the one who gave up his horn for the Font of Immortality. Like, if you're digging enough into the artifacts...
I'm writing it down as a fic idea. It's going down on the list.
You have a lot of fanfics to write,
I know.
Jessica.
I've started one or two of them.
Wait, which ones have you started?
Hang on, I gotta remember which ones. I haven't worked on them a bit because school started and I got really busy, but...
Fair.
I started... Hang on.
Okay, so it sounds like one of our next episodes, after we finish book 5, is hearing about your fanfics.
Yes, okay. Where is it? Let's see. Sphinx. Okay, I'm just gonna say Bracken's captivity. Including Sphinx capturing him and taunting him with the font.
Ooh.
That would be so good. Oh, now I need to read that.
Dang.
Oh, now I need to write it.
You need to write it so we can read it.
I did a little bit of Warren reacting to Kendra's death. Just a little bit. Not a ton of it, but...
That's brutal.
I started putting down, like, a vague outline of what I would want it to be. And Dale is involved, actually.
Good.
Dale?
Because he should be. As someone commented on our previous video, justice for Dale, and I agree.
Justice for Dale. But yeah,
we talked about it last time.
It's inspired by another fic I read with a kind of a similar... It's not similar. It's not a one-shot, like, what I would probably write, just, like, a quick chapter of, like, a quick little snapshot moment. It was, like, a full, like, covering their entire lives of Dale being an older brother to a impulsive, adrenaline junkie of a brother.
Yeah.
And the stress that must
the way that Dale
him.
really relates to Kendra.
But I would really like to do it from Warren's POV, which I think would be very...
I like that.
Good to get into. But anyways.
All right, so we're all just going to be periodically asking you when that's coming, I guess.
No, but now that Bracken one, that one's got me on... that one's got me intrigued. What would that look like?
Okay, guys. You know, if it doesn't... go search for Jessica on... What is it? AO3?
It's AO3. I'm glad that you remembered that. Thank you. That makes me feel good.
Well, I know AO3 is one of the fanfic ones. So.
It is the one. I don't care if anybody says Wattpad or fanfiction.net
okay,
or better.
Well, Wattpad
no, it's
is
AO3.
a little...
Wattpad, like, even beyond it's, like,
Isn't
problems
Wattpad
with that,
more smutty?
It can be, yeah. But even beyond that, it's just its organization is non-existent.
What's the other one? Is there another one?
Fanfiction.net. It's a little bit better than Wattpad, but it's a bit older.
Heard of that one. Okay, I've really only heard of AO3.
AO3 is a beautiful site. It's just I've sung its praises before, but its organization, its diversity of content, and like how easy it's so easy to find a fic that will scratch that itch in your brain. If you find a tag that that is similar to some of your interests, it'll tailor-make a list that is just perfect for you.
Wow.
It's so nice. Love that site. AO3, I love you. All right.
Okay, so there's another part I want to talk about just after this. Where Kendra... So he just said, "It is difficult living as an unchanging being in a temporal world."
Yes.
I bet, Kendra said. "Don't waste any sorrow on me. I'm at peace with my choices. I feel sorry for you. So young, yet forced to confront so much. Mm-hmm. And then Kendra says, you know, all of us say when people are like, how are you? Like, oh, I'm good. She says, I'm all right. And Bracken, in this moment, I really love him because he says, you cope, but you're not all right.
You can't be.
I understand your worries and your pain, Kendra. I promise that I will do everything in my power to protect you and your family. Feeling tears threatening, Kendra turned her head away. Thanks. And in this moment, like I said, I just love Bracken because he sees Kendra and he recognizes all of the crap that she's going through, and she's just trying kind of to brush away and not think about it.
Because she can't right now.
But he's thinking about it for her. And that's really cute to me. Like, that is... I know they're not, like, together yet, and they, like, still barely know each other, and, like, obviously they're not together yet, yeah, whatever, but that's why I feel like partially I think they work so well together.
Exactly.
Is because he, like, recognizes all the stuff that she's going through, all the stuff that she does, and, like, appreciates it and, like, vocalizes it and, like, supports her out loud, which I love.
He recognizes that, like, he can look at her and recognize that she's not okay, and he recognizes that she can't deal with it right now, so he's not going to push her into confronting it, but he's just saying, what you need, I will be there, I will do my best to protect you and protect your family, and...
Oh, it's so cute. He's just the best.
He's just the best.
He's just the best.
Can we order 2 Brackens for express delivery, please? To us, please?
This is why I have a hard time choosing between Bracken and Warren. Because they're both the best.
They are. Ugh. All right.
So anyway.
Raxus comes back,
returns.
And he's like, yeah, so there's a lot of dead people over there.
Yeah. They're like, is Rune maybe alive? And Raxus is like, well, there's a charred corpse on a throne. So I'm gonna take a guess and say that's him.
And if you're asking still if he's alive, it's a no. It's just no.
Emphasis on charred corpse.
So they investigate, and Bracken, again, trying to shield Kendra. And I do appreciate that it's not in like a condescending, you can't handle this kind of way.
No, it's not.
When she says she's good and she can come in, he says okay. But he's giving her an out if she wants it and if she needs it.
Yeah. And after she goes in, she's like, man, I should have stayed out. Because it is a gruesome scene. And the way she describes it, she's like trying to say, it's just, she's trying to pretend it's like a gory scene on like a theater, like a theme park ride or something.
Yeah.
But the smell is what gets to her. Mm-hmm. Which is probably true. That is what would be the worst.
Mm-hmm. So, inside the throne room, well, first they passed, like, a few guys on the outside, but the main bloodbath happened in the throne room, where there are at least 20 armored men butchered among a host of fallen foes. Dead minotaurs, cyclops, goblins, hobgoblins, lycanthropes, a tiger, and then just all of these corpses and blood and guts, like severed limbs, are just strewn across this room. The fact that she keeps anything she's eaten down to that day is impressive.
Yeah. And Bracken remarks, quite a fight. And a voice answers, saying,
not Raxus and not Kendra!
Yes, it was, answered a masculine voice. And it is a tiger that was next to the throne that they first assumed that was dead. But we learn his name is Nico, and he is one of the protectors of the Eternals.
Nico with a K, in case anybody was wondering.
That feels very Scandinavian to me.
You know what, you're right. But they talk about how they were here to warn Rune about the attack incoming, and the tiger's just like, I would that you had arrived last night. It would have been enough. They attacked just 2 hours before sunrise, and I think they're only here like a few hours later.
Yeah, it's only been a few hours. And it must have been fairly fast, because they had Mirov with them, which is what Nico says, minus the wizard and a few of the more, like,
skilled warriors,
we would have won the day. Which is impressive. Like, obviously Rune was, and how Nico describes him, the best of the best, the fiercest fighter, you know, the
ultimate hunter.
The ultimate hunter.
He would breed magical creatures for him to...
For sport.
For sport. I hope they weren't any sentient ones, because otherwise my opinion on this man changes real fast. But, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I lost it.
Basically, Mirov and
yes.
Torina and the Grey Assassin and their gang, their Goonies,
yeah,
showed up and killed him.
And I remember where I was going with it. Because Nico, Rune was the best of the best. He was like, I'm assuming like basically a full Scandinavian Viking berserker. And then Nico says, would attract the best of the best as well.
Yeah.
He would attract men who wanted to improve their fighting skills, who wanted to hunt and just be a part of his life.
Leave the outside world.
Leave the outside world. And he would say 1 to 3 of them would die on hunts a year, but still they came. So these are the guys who were willing to die for a sport. These are basically modern day Vikings.
Yeah, pretty much.
But honestly, that would have been an epic fight to see, but I understand why it had to be cut.
Yeah.
Like, we're already going to get 2 other brawls with the final 2 Eternals.
We have to keep this middle grade appropriate, I guess.
And also middle grade appropriate, yes. That's no.
You can just talk about the carnage afterwards, not... They were chopping off heads.
Have a very censored picture.
It becomes rated R quite quickly, yes.
Do you have this one in your copy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this picture, too. There's
a
picture
very cool picture.
You see Nico going in front of the charred corpse, aforementioned, in front of, like, this huge throne with, like, this massive set of antlers attached to it in this huge hall. And you can only see, like, a head of a cyclops, maybe, like, 2 fallen bodies, and, like, an arm or 2. Like, there's arrows and swords sticking out of places, but it's very G.
Yeah.
Maybe PG. But, yeah. You're right, they had to keep it middle grade.
Yeah.
But yeah. And honestly, Nico is so clearly, like, broken by this loss. Like, he's like, I'm the chief,
Protector.
Because it's established, Bracken checks his identity. He's like, you're a shapeshifter. And it's revealed that Agate and the other wizards gave each of the 5 Eternals a guardian to protect them.
Yeah.
And so Nico is the head guardian, which is why he does not pass on along with his corresponding Eternal. And basically he's just like, I loved hunting with Rune. It was like, for the centuries that we've been together, it was like we had a grand old time.
Yeah, it's really sad. And Bracken is like, so you weren't expecting allies to walk in. You wanted a bite of whoever did this. And Nico's like, yeah, pretty much. I want revenge.
He faked his death so that they would leave, so that then he could then avenge his friend.
Yeah.
What a bro. Everybody needs a Nico. Can I have a big tiger named
I know, I want a big tiger that'll protect me. Shapeshift. It's pretty sick, actually.
Did you ever read, is it called A Tiger's Curse?
I've heard of it. I had friends who read it. I never read it.
I read it in high school. It was basically Twilight, but with, not Twilight, what's the show with vampires?
Vampire Diaries?
That one.
It's like Vampire Diaries?
But with tigers! Because the whole premise is that, there are these 2 brothers that were turned into tigers in, like, back into, like, I don't know, early ancient India.
Yeah.
And they were turned into tigers, and one of them's a dark black tiger, and the other one's a white tiger. And it's like, have you ever watched any Vampire Diaries?
No.
Well, the main thing is that there are 2 guys,
but don't they both, like, love the same girl or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that part.
And, yeah, like, one of them, like, the good brother falls in love with the girl, and the bad brother also kind of falls in love with the girl, and it forms a love triangle. And I'm pretty sure it's basically the same plot overall.
That's so funny.
It's just tigers instead of vampires.
Well, anyway. Shout out to you if you've ever read Tiger's Curse. I know I had friends who read it, and I kept getting it. I would almost, I'd want to say Titan's Curse because of Percy Jackson. So, be like, Tiger's Curse, Titan's Curse.
I enjoyed it.
So they also came out around the same time, I feel like.
It was like that same kind of era when, like, modern day myths was getting to be big.
Uh-huh.
It was, Rick Riordan came out with that, and then...
It really was a big thing, wasn't it?
Modern day myths. Because, like, it was such a cool idea of, like, having modern day people interact with these, like, fantastical ideas and elements.
Yeah. So Nico makes a good point, because he's like, so what is your mission exactly? And they're like, we're trying to protect the Eternals to stop the opening of Zizix. And now that there's only 2 left, we need to go find them. And Nico's like, well, this is fated, I guess, because I'm literally the only person in the world that can tell you where the other 2 Eternals are right now. Because he can sense their locations based on their guardians.
Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, that does feel a little convenient.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, it's needed for the plot. Like,
but,
they need to know where to go next.
Or else they had no possible way of finding them.
Yeah, the only other way would have been for the Sphinx to let them... I guess they did have the Sphinx to tell them if they wanted to.
Yeah, but he's, like, not been communicating with them. He hasn't gotten the thing from Bracken's cell yet. But Nico says he senses them both in the United States, actually. One in Texas. Now that's convenient. One in Texas, one in LA area. But he did say one of them was in South America for a long time before fleeing to Texas. So...
Yeah, honestly, imagine, like, being Nico and just, like, he's feeling all of these different things happening, because one of the Eternals was killed recently by the Sphinx.
One of the other ones, yeah.
And so, for them to immediately have someone else have to move rapidly to a different location, he had to know something was coming. Or at least faintly suspect.
Oh, yeah. Nico definitely knew that something was happening. It'd be so interesting to, like, get a short story of that.
Just the fight here.
Well, Nico sensing that, like...
something's going on.
Something happened, like, one of the Guardians died, and, like, the Eternals died. Okay, there's another fanfic for you. And then he senses it, and he tells Rune, and Rune is like...
It could even be from Rune's point of view.
Yeah.
Like, talking to Nico.
Like,
Nico just being like,
so it's happening.
Is on the wind.
Yeah.
And
then when the second one dies, they're like, we have to prepare. And maybe Nico for a second is like, maybe we should leave. And Rune is like, we don't run from a fight, kind of thing. Well, this is good.
I have papers to grade, guys!
She's like, I have work to do, but you need to write this, Jessica. I feel it. It's good.
Nico and Rune reflecting on their suspicions.
Maybe they go on like one last hunt, and Nico is like,
do you want this to be sad?
They go on one last hunt, and Nico is like, well, if we're not gonna leave, we have to, stand our ground and prep. I don't know. It would be good.
Like hearing, like, the banging at the gates.
And then,
like,
the fight.
Come. Dang, that would be epic.
And then
I don't know if I can do the fight scene, I'm not good at fight scenes.
And then it ends with Rax just flying over and Nico being like, who's here? Or maybe it ends with, like, Bracken and Kendra. That I don't know.
I was gonna say it's gonna end with Rune stumbling to his throne and, like, maybe stroking Nico's fur one more time.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it would end with Nico's point of view. Maybe it could be both of them.
It could switch.
And Nico, like, pretending to be dead, fixing his wounds, waiting in wait, kind of agonizing over it, trying to make a plan about revenge, and then he sees the dragon fly over, or, like, senses the dragon fly over, and he's like, oh, revenge, and then I don't know.
Can I just say, this is the second time in this episode that you've made me want to quote Hamilton?
We might as well.
Still, I am lying in wait.
Might as well knock that off the bingo card.
Yeah. I held off the first time. The second time I couldn't.
What was the first time?
They were lying in wait for Cormac.
Oh.
You specifically said lying in wait.
Okay, well, it's a very common phrase.
I know.
They were literally doing that.
But I'm pretty sure we listened to...
Okay, so what do you think about this fanfic? Anyone, any other ideas while we're brainstorming?
Just chuck them out. I'll get the two of them sometime in the next
Anyone
decade.
else that writes fanfics? Go ahead and write this.
Please leave your link.
What if
leave
someone
your link
else
to your
writes
803
this,
page.
and then you write it, and then we read both, like, on an episode? That would be cool.
Challenge accepted.
Well, it's not to vote who's better.
No.
It's more to be like, oh, this is interesting. Like, think about it this way, or think about it that way. I don't know.
No, that would be great. I love that. Do you want to write one?
No.
I'm just saying, it can be very therapeutic. The number of times I've had to go and read a Merlin Fix-It fanfic.
Oh my gosh.
Just because I
Can we not get into the Merlin fanfics right now?
There are some good
Focus, Jessica! We have 2 more chapters.
Alright.
Okay.
What are we at, time-wise?
It's 5:08.
We're at 1 hour. And we're about 2 chapters.
Okay, let's keep going. We want to be 2 hours.
We're on schedule.
Let's keep it going.
All
okay,
right.
so anyway, fanfics aside.
Again, though, if you do have any ideas, I am open to them.
Yeah.
That's honestly the hardest part for me when it comes to like writing a story, is thinking of ideas. Once I have an idea and I fix like a scene in my head, my pen flows naturally.
There you go.
Metaphorically, I don't use a pen. That's barbaric.
You're barbaric.
That was a joke. No shade to anybody who uses a pen. I just find laptops and keyboards much faster and more efficient.
Well, yeah.
All right.
So basically, they're like, okay, so we gotta go to America, but obviously we can't go the normal way. We don't have papers, so we're gonna fly across with Raxtus. Mm-hmm. And Raxtus is like, yeah, we can use the shipping lanes. And then Nico can turn into some kind of water creature and follow along, but he can't go as fast as Raxtus.
Mm-hmm. Especially with Kendra powering him up.
True. Yeah.
Also, when is it that... I feel like it was in this chapter. I feel like we may have missed it briefly, but Bracken takes a moment to ask Raxtus how he feels about all of this. He's like, I know you're not the most comfortable when it comes to like direct confrontation, and he checks in with him. He's like, are you okay with this? Are you going to stand by us, or do we need to do... Like, he's willing to let, honestly, probably their biggest asset right now, walk out if he needs to.
Quite literally the only way that they can get around very easily.
Like, their biggest plus, like, he's a great fighter. Well, he's proving himself to be a great asset, a great fighter, helps them out a ton. And he's willing to let him walk out if that's what his buddy needs. And I'm just like, Bracken, you king. But Raxus just straight up says, like, the more and more I do this... I think it actually is later when he takes out a couple of more wyverns. Like, he's like, my confidence is growing the more I'm with you guys. It's partially...
It's so good for Raxtus.
So good for Raxtus. He's feeling like he's getting all this verbal affirmation from Kendra and Bracken. And then he's also getting, like, physical... undeniable proof that he is more than what he's thought he's been for this entire life. He's not just a weakling. He's not just a runt.
The character arc of Raxus in this book is so good.
So good.
I love it.
And so he straight up says, even though he's still on the journey, though, he tells Bracken, as long as there's a chance of us winning, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, I think that's in the Mark chapter.
Like, he's still not in the... like, I will die for you mode yet. He's still growing to that point. And but every confrontation, every chance he has that he proves himself, his confidence is growing. And I love that for him.
Mm-hmm. It's
like,
great.
Can I get you to America?
There is one part that's
days.
a little, like, sad. Because, like, Nico's like, hey, Dragon's breath would be a good way to dispose of these fallen warriors. And Raxus is like... Yeah, Nico talks really epically. And Raxus is like, oh, I really think it would be. But sadly, I do not have fire. So.
But you're right on that one.
Yeah. And so basically, they're like, okay, time to go. And
to America.
Well, because they need to gear up because they don't have stuff. And Nico's like, well, this is the perfect place. It's not going to be used. So he takes them to their armory. And it's like, take whatever you want because no one is going to use this anymore. But Nico sniffs someone out and he's like, who's hiding in here? And this guy from the party or whatever, one of Rune's sworn men, comes out from hiding. And Nico's like, I could smell you from the hallway. And his name is Jonas, who hid because of Mirov. He's, like, afraid of wizards, basically. And Nico is really pissed off, and he's lucky he didn't kill him.
The fact that he says, like, how could you?
Yeah, you were his sworn man, blah, 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 like, honor, like, you have no honor, and he charges him to, like, bury all the dead, friend and foe, and then leave with nothing. You have dishonored yourself, and you will feel the shame of this day forever, you know, all that stuff. It's kind of interesting.
But yeah.
So yeah, they get all the goodies, and that's the end of the chapter.
Off they go. Back to the land of the free.
Back to America. With all their weapons.
Mm-hmm. Which is probably why they didn't go through customs.
They can't go through TSA and customs.
No, they're not getting through. Like,
okay.
The Fablehaven mist is a powerful thing, but May is not that good. Yeah. Alright. Next to Seth chapter once again.
Chapter 21, The Singing Sisters. I love the little chapter icon.
Yeah.
It's the truck, and you can see Hugo in the bed of the truck.
And even more than that, if you look really, really closely, you can see, like, little debris flying off of Hugo.
Yeah.
Like little strands of grass and twigs and, like, clumps of dirt. I love it.
I love it.
Alright, so, The Singing Sisters.
Yep.
This is a fun one.
This is a good one.
So, Seth is still giving 0 craps. But he's still got some people in his corner. He's got Kendra, he's got Newell, he's got Doran, he's got Hugo.
He's got Vanessa.
Did I not say Vanessa?
You said Kendra.
Oh, thank you. He has Vanessa. There we go.
Just good, or else none of this would be possible. Because
so she at least has a driver's license.
She has connections, too. She takes them from Fablehaven to a car dealer resource that she has and gets, like, a really nice truck to go along.
One of her 7 false identities.
Which only, like, 3 or 4 have been compromised. But she has access to, like, millions of dollars. Which they have been using along the way because, of course, Newell and Doran, being who they are, they love TV, right? Mm-hmm. And they see lots of commercials. And a lot of those commercials are fast food places. So now that they're in the outside world, every time they see a fast food place that they recognize from a commercial, they're like, stop, we need the food. We need to try the McDonald's. We need to try Burger King or whatever.
And props to Vanessa. She doesn't stop for every demand, but she cedes to a few. Like, okay, it's time to eat. Like, well, which one are you thinking of now? Now I'm just picturing Newell and Doran watching, like, the Kool-Aid Man commercial. Being like, man, do humans actually deal with this kind of thing?
It is so funny. It says, this whole list, it says, Newell and Doran had inexhaustibly consumed milkshakes, burgers, sandwiches, tacos, nachos, pretzels, nuts, beef jerky, trail mix, soda, donuts, candy bars, cookies, crackers, and aerosol cheese.
Now I'm just picturing, like...
So much. It's insane.
And now I'm just picturing, like, them, like, Seth having to go into the gas station and getting, like, half of these items for them to eat on the way.
A full armful of food.
Every time they fill up on gas, like, Vanessa probably just gives Seth a card and he just loads up a bag just full of different goodies, checks out and takes it back to the car, and it's probably gone, wrappers and all, in like 20 minutes.
Seriously.
But
it's so funny. Just like right after that, they're like, some of us have fast metabolisms, Dorm mumbled. We just want fuel in the tank before we risk our necks, Newell complained. You want nutrition? Seth asked. Remind me to teach you guys about the food pyramid. A pyramid made of food? Doran said reverently. We are your humble pupils, Newell pledged.
That's a good one.
That's so funny.
I also just love, it's like reinforcing their characters. Like, Doran will at least try to fake his way through. Like, he'll like lie and like say, we have fast metabolisms. And Newell's just like, I don't want to die on an empty stomach. Like, that's it. I just don't want to die feeling hungry. That just seems excessive. Might as well eat as much as I can. Well, so they finally arrive at this little dingy area in Mississippi, or
Missouri, along the Mississippi River. It's in Missouri.
In Missouri, and there's an island in the center of the river that is only accessible via this little dingy little raft, who is owned by the Sentinel, is what he is referred to in the letters from Patton. And Patton has been very vague about what Seth is going to need to do in order to get the Sentinel to approve his passage to the island where the Singing Sisters live. Which Seth finds very frustrating, but...
Yeah, it'd be very anxiety-inducing. You're like, this is the hardest thing, and you don't tell me how to do it? And it's very interesting because he's super specific about Cormac and everything. He's specific about later what he needs to summon the Lady Luck.
For the shore side.
But there's not a lot to go off of with the Singing Sisters, which we'll learn about just in a bit in the chapter.
So, Seth and Vanessa go and approach the Sentinel. They have to kind of barge their way into his shack in order to get him to talk to them.
Yeah, he's basically like, leave, or I'll call the police. Away. But he's also just like, take your golem and leave, basically. So, like, he knows that they're not just random people, obviously.
The second they walk into his house, he's like, so, Shadow Charmer, Narcoblix, couple of satyrs.
Yeah.
Gotta say, a more eclectic bunch than I usually see.
It's like an Ice Age when they're like, we are the strangest herd I've ever seen.
No, it's literally that.
When you said that, I was like, the Ice Age thing came into my mind. That's funny.
I haven't seen the first Ice Age in so long.
The first one's probably the best.
I like Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
That one's a good one, but...
Peaches!
First one's a classic, though.
No, you're right. The other ones get a little bit too fantastical. The first one's like the most.
I like the second one too.
The second one's good. Ellie's nice.
Yeah.
So you think I'm round? Round is nice. Round is foxy. Alright, so the Sentinel demands to speak with Seth alone. He's like, Narcoblix needs to step outside. The little lady needs to step outside. Oh, little lady. You got that reference?
Don't piss her off.
You know the reference?
Okay, that is such an obscure line.
I can't get the voice. Oh, there, little lady. I can't do it. It's Cad Bane. It's Cad Bane. He always, whenever he's talking to Ahsoka.
I would have gotten it anyway.
Yeah, whenever he's talking to Ahsoka, he's like, hello, little lady. I don't know. And I can't get his, like, he has like the vibrating deep voice. I can't do it. Anyways.
Basically, Seth starts talking to the Sentinel. Well, the Sentinel offers him some food. He offers him a, like, peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich.
Do you know what that's called?
PBM? I don't know.
It's called a fluffernutter.
Oh, okay. A little bit of context for everyone.
I'm giving her the most crappy grin right now.
Jessica's favorite flavor of ice cream is Fluffernutter.
It's heaven on
freshman
earth,
year
guys.
in college, that's literally all she would eat for ice cream is Fluffernutter.
I thought you were gonna say all she would eat. Period. I was like, no, I also eat popcorn and mashed potatoes.
It was a staple of your diet. Fluffernutter ice cream.
You're not wrong. There was a counter in the apartment for how many cartons I went through in a year.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure we were in the tens, if not in the dozens.
Needless to say, Fluffernutter's still Jessica's favorite flavor of ice cream.
No, but yeah, a Fluffernutter sandwich is peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. Because, I mean, that's what Fluffernutter ice cream. I think it has a graham cracker flavored base, but peanut butter and marshmallow are
and see, that's not something I would think to really put together.
Yeah, I remember first reading this as a kid and being like, what?
Yeah, I remember reading and being like, who would put that on a sandwich?
But the funny thing
and now it's like your favorite flavor.
And now, like, the Sentinel even says, like, it's my specialty. Like, it goes through the motions, like, it puts the peanut butter on one side, the marshmallow fluff on the other, and I can even see it's, like, the Jeff cream on it, too.
Jeff Puff or whatever.
Jeff Puff, yeah.
I feel like I don't really eat marshmallows unless they're in my hot cocoa and they're dissolved, or they're, like, on s'mores.
As the Sentinel is making this sandwich, he's asking Seth questions, kind of understanding their predicament, what's going on, what's at stake, and he finally hands Seth the sandwich, and what's the last question? Oh, okay, so the last thing he says, he sounds like you have a need. He's like, but the Singing Sisters do not offer guidance lightly. They will require much of you. If you fail to strike a bargain to their liking, they'll destroy you. And Seth immediately just says back, I have no other choice. And Sentinel's like, okay, good. Let's go.
Yeah. He also gave him advice that each singing sister would give an offer, and then he would be able to give one counter offer, and he had to either accept one of the offers or have his counter offer be accepted, or else he'd be killed. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of telling him how it works.
Because, I mean, like, this Sentinel, like, he acts all big and tough, and like that's how it belongs. But in reality, and it's revealed here, like, he was at one point a petitioner of the Singing Sisters, and this was the deal that he struck.
Yes.
Was to become their Sentinel and to take up the mantle.
Kind of filter who sees them.
And his biggest goal is to keep those who do not have a great enough need from seeing the sisters, not because, like, out of loyalty from the Singing Sisters, like, oh, you're not worthy, but because he's like, I want to prevent as many people from being either stuck in my situation or dying as possible. He sees it as
he's a good person.
Great guy. He masquerades because, like, he doesn't want, like, the secret getting out and, like, people coming to him lightly.
Yeah.
But he's like, I need to make sure that you are desperate, that this is your only option, and then I will help you as best I can to, or at least I will help Seth because he's a kid as much as he can to get through. He's like, I don't normally give out advice. You're a kid. You have a great need.
You obviously need the most help you can get.
And he's like, I'm going to help you up as much. He's like, I don't normally give out advice, but maybe if I was asked nicely.
Hint, hint. Seth's like, okay.
So, what can I do?
Yeah, and he tells him all the stuff about the deals and everything. So then they go out, and the Sentinel's like, well, doesn't happen often, but...
The boy bested me!
Convinced me. And he's like, everyone but the golem can accompany us across the river, but the boy must go in alone. So they all jump in the boat.
After Hugo pouts a little bit.
Yeah, well, Hugo can't make it onto the island because of protections.
He slumped the boat too.
That too, yeah.
So they make it in. Seth enters the Singing Sisters' lair,
yeah.
And he is led to them by a troll. Turns out only trolls can serve the Singing Sisters because goblins are too stupid.
According to the troll that Seth's talking to. In Duggish, by the way. He's speaking Duggish again.
Apparently it's a high honor for them to serve the Singing Sisters.
And so now
I'll take their word for it.
Now we come to the description of the Singing Sisters,
Yay.
Which is disgusting.
I'm pretty sure I blocked out from my childhood memory.
Yeah, same.
So 3 middle-aged appearing women, in each holding hands around a puddle containing a large white maggot.
It appears that they're holding hands, but their hands are actually fused together.
So they're just in a circle joined together.
Yeah.
And so one of them is tall and thin, the other is short and balding, the other is excessively flabby, and yeah, just ugh. And, like, the maggot in the pool in between them is, like, described as being, like, as long as Seth's leg.
Ugh.
And I'm just like, yeah, I didn't need that, Brandon. Didn't need that.
Disgusting.
Nope. Okay.
You just had to. Okay, fine. Whatever. Basically, Seth starts talking to him. He's like, are you the Singing Sisters? And, of course, they answer... Wait. No, they don't answer the same. I thought they answered in unison for a second. We are known by that way collectively, the tallest said. I'm Berna. I'm Orna, said the shortest, and I'm Wilna, said the flabby one. Tell us why you've come. And Seth's like, I need to find Vasilis, the sword of light and darkness.
And I love this next bit.
Orna cackled, he has his bravado.
He looks like him. Vaguely. It takes a little bit. And I'm just like, I told you it wouldn't be us this time.
Yeah. We're not the only ones who thinks of him like Patton Burgess.
And they're like, even they don't see necessarily like there's a direct familial resemblance. It's his bravado. It's his character. It's his personality. They're like, this is Patton reborn.
Well, later he's also like, well, you know I'm related to him. And they're like, yeah, we know everything.
And so it's just like, ugh, thick as his fork. Sorry, got to the I glanced at the maggot description again.
Ugh. Gross.
So... And it's just, like, so funny, like, they mentioned, like, Patton was our favorite. He came to us more than once, and he was a splendid specimen. And I'm just like, interesting word there. Okay. But
Seth also says, do you know I'm trying to save the world, Seth asked. Told you, Orna stickered. Pat and Burgess all over again.
So they make it. Seth begins his negotiation. The first offer comes from Berna, which was the tall one, I believe,
who does not like him and did not like Patton.
It's very clear. She's like, it takes a certain amount of wishing. It just she's not as infatuated off the bat.
She's a little more skeptical.
Mm-hmm. But she offers 3 lives. You have to kill a friend, an enemy, and a relative. Give us 3 lives, and we will share the location of Vasilis. And Seth's like, wait, what? How does that benefit you? Why does me killing a friend and a relative benefit you? And they're like, we don't care about whether or not it benefits us. It's about the price you pay.
And Vasilis is worth you. Vasilis is worth a lot, so it's going to be a steep price.
Mm-hmm. And it's not about what it's going to cost us. It's about what it's going to cost you. And Seth's like, okay, file and save that information.
Yeah.
The second offer is where'd it go?
Wilna?
The trials.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wilna says, we can give you 3 trials. If you succeed and survive, we will grant your request. What are the trials? Seth asked. You must agree in order to know, Wilna replied. And then Orna, who is the one that obviously was the most in love with Patton, and also keeps saying things like, he's so young, she's already on his side.
Yes.
She blurts out, the trials are rigged. No one ever survives. They're just for our entertainment. And Wilna and Berna are like, Orna, shut up.
Come on. That's not how we do this. She's like, but he looks like Patton.
Mm-hmm. And Seth is like, well, I'd take trials over killing a friend, Seth said. Any other offers?
And the Singing Sisters are like, really? The Sentinel talk again? And he's like,
no.
Wouldn't you know that? And they're like, dang it.
Yeah. So basically, they have caught on to the fact that he knows that there are going to be 3 offers.
And that he can then make a counter offer. So
one of them's like, okay, we can't just keep going like this. You either have to accept or deny the offers before you hear the next one.
Refuse.
Yes. And he refuses the first 2 offers. And then Orna gives him an offer that is within 1 year of retrieving Vasilis, he would come back and return and be their lifelong servant.
And both Berna and Wilna are like, that is way generous for what we're being asked for. And she's like, I like him. But the fact that Seth actually considers this offer, he's like, is sacrificing my life and freedom enough to possibly save the world?
Mm-hmm. He's also like, I might not even live to a year after, so maybe it'd be worth it, because I wouldn't even have to do it, but then I'd be dead. And he really does consider it for a second, but he's like, Patton was able to get out without becoming their lifelong servant. I should be able to as well. And so he decides to turn down that offer and make his own offer. And he says, well, there are 3 of you. How about I give 3 things? Mm-hmm. So the first, he says, what about, would you like Vasilis after I acquired it?
He's like, it's a great sword. You've said yourselves how pricey it is. It's gotta be enough. It's gotta be worth something to you, right? And they're like, well, it would be a great... He's like, well, even more than that, it would pain me to give it up because it's an awesome sword.
Yeah.
That's something.
They call it one of the great 6 swords or something, which now I'm wondering what the other
5 are.
So yeah, he's like, I'll give you Vasilis.
And they're like, that's good. That's worth something.
And Orna's like, give him more.
He's like, okay, what else do I have? Wraiths. I could give you a wraith. Because he knows now that he can command them.
That would be bound to them.
He's like, I'll bind it to you. It'll be yours to command as you choose. And they're like, okay, Orna, continuing with the, give me more, buddy.
And then he's like, okay, for the third thing, what if I promise to retrieve an object of your choosing with the help of Vasilis, and I return within a year from today?
I appreciate that he even says, with the help of Vasilis, he's like, if you're going to make me go on this, a super difficult quest, at least let me have the cool sword
to do it. Give me the sword to do it. And they're like, well, the one that really doesn't like him is like, that is too low. you're gonna die, basically. And then Orna's like, you're not the only one that gets a voice here, sister.
So he has Orna on his side, Wilna's vehemently against. So it comes down to Berna.
Yeah.
And she's like, it'll still be entertaining to watch at the very least.
Yeah. And so they decide to agree to his offer, thankfully.
And the terms of it are also included that he is not allowed to share the details with anybody. Yeah. Similar to what the Sentinel said, like, don't talk about what we talked about here. And Seth's like, oh, so that's why Patton was so vague.
That's why Patton gave me no instructions.
He couldn't.
Basically, yeah, he was under the same terms.
So they bring out a knife, and Seth allows it to taste his blood.
It's called a covenant knife.
It's a covenant knife, and basically the idea is that if he fails to complete the agreement, the knife will find him and take his life. Or maybe it won't find him, but it will take his life. By some means.
Magical knife.
I think it would be so super dramatic if it just, like, appears in front of him and just stabs him.
Would be crazy.
That's the mental image I have in my brain. Probably not a pleasant one, but...
Yeah, I don't know how it would happen.
Who said my brain was a pleasant place to be?
Okay. So, after doing that, the Singing Sisters use their magical powers, do some kind of chant or whatever, and they use up a lot of energy. It seems very, like, rough for them to, I don't know, use their magic to view what they need to.
Well, because apparently Vasilis is guarded. It is shielded by powerful magic.
Yes.
The maggot dies, which I approve of.
It's gross. So
disgusting.
Yeah, they learn that the Vasilis of sort of like darkness is behind a thing called the Totem Wall, which is kind of similar to the Singing Sisters in that it's like some kind of, I guess, collection of sentient beings.
It says it's like an oracular location. So like people
oracular,
like an oracle.
Oh. Like
kind of like the people go to the Singing Sisters for advice, for guidance. People do the same thing with the Totem Wall.
Yeah,
it's a collection of sentiences.
Yeah,
like it's a bunch of totems just lined up next to each other. And we'll get into it more as we get to that location.
Yeah,
but
it's in Canada,
British Columbia, to be precise.
Very pretty. Oh, my phone. Hold on. Just a sec. Okay. So they give him a map of where it is, and they tell... So when he's talking to Totem Wall, he has to call on certain totems and give them a offer for their help, basically.
Again, very similar to the Singing Sisters.
And so they tell him when he goes to the Totem Wall, he needs to call upon specific ones, and he has to call upon... Anu the Hunter. Sorry.
No, I wasn't sure if you'd got it.
Okay, I just swiped to it.
You're ready, you're good.
Anu the Hunter, Tortiga the Crone, Euralia the Dancer, and Chew the Beaver. And they say addressing them by name should surprise them. And then they will require an offering to open the hidden door. Tell them you will eradicate the evil entombed within. Even if they doubt you, said Berna, they may enjoy the sport of the attempt.
And I actually really like this, like, from the Singing Sisters, because it proves, like, they are very much self-interest. Like, they're invested in their own self-interest. They don't want Seth being tied up in other entanglements, other agreements with the Totem Wall, because those could supersede the ones that he's sworn to them.
Also, they want Vasilis, so they want him to succeed.
Yes. Yes, exactly. So...
They tell him that the evil inside the Totem Wall is a room full of what's called the Standing Dead. And they say, only one without fear may pass. If they sense fear, they will seize you, and you will join them. And then, in the Chamber of the Sword awaits a greater threat. An entity of terrible power. You must slay that entity to gain Vasilis. Therefore, your promise to the wall will not increase your burden. And those particular totems should accept the offer. And Seth's like, well, what if the totems deny my offer? And then Berna's like, well, improvise. You're the reincarnation of Patton. You should be pretty good at that.
Yes, exactly. It's implied that, like, usually dealing with the Totem Wall can be very finicky, very chance-related. And they're just like, here's exactly what you need to do. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So...
Seriously.
Like, and it's honestly really funny. By the time they get back out, they give him a map to then use... And they go out, and Seth tells them where they need to go, and Vanessa's like, they couldn't tell you where the sword is, we have to go ask another magical oracle? Yeah. He's like, no, it's actually hidden there. And she's like, oh, okay, that's somewhat better. Like, we don't have to go to another location, and then
this is
another place in the scavenger hunt.
This is book 4 of 5 Kingdoms.
I resent that comment. I knew
you have no rebuttal!
I knew you were going to bring it up, though. I just knew it was coming. I knew you were going to bring it up.
Well, when you said we have to go from one location to another, it was pretty obvious. It was standing right there.
I know.
Also, Newell and Doran betted on whether Seth would come back out again.
That was absolutely savage of them. And the fact that Newell actually bet against him not coming out.
Newell bet against him! And then Vanessa's like, they wouldn't let me join in. I was gonna bet for you.
And Newell's just like, I was just bored. Like, I knew you were probably gonna get out, and I just had to win the money back from Doran eventually.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me, dude?
It's like, bro. You're not earning yourself brownie points.
No. It just, like, Newell is very much the cynic.
Yeah.
He is a cynic through and through.
I also like how the Sentinel double checks. He's like, so, did they each give you one offer? And he's like, yep. And he's like, did you do more than one counter offer? Nope. And he's like, well, I knew I was right.
My suspicions
My empirical data is still correct.
Because he's just been learning this from observation. Every time a person has come back, he's been, like, inquiring, like, so how'd it go? What happened? And these are the patterns that he's seen.
Yeah.
Good for him, honestly. Alright.
Our first place it will take us is Canada.
I just turned the page and I saw the next chapter, and I just see the Santa Monica Seaside Players are putting on Henry V next weekend. Sorry, I'm out of flyers.
Yeah, back to chapter 22, Mark. I love that that's their, like, cover for why they're dressed up in armor and have swords.
And the fact that it works so well.
Yeah, it's just like, well, that's not the weirdest thing you could see in LA.
Especially Santa Monica.
Yeah. So yeah, chapter 22.
I was like, wait, why do I know Santa Monica? It's where Percy goes into the ocean to get the pearls.
Ah.
That's the other time when he goes to Santa Monica Beach. The beach in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Alright, so... yes, Kendra's promenading down the 3rd Street Promenade in a wolf hide cloak to hide a sword and crossbow, while Bracken's got his weapons underneath a bearskin cape. And they're both wearing armor. I think both leather armor still, though.
Yeah.
And, like, they're looking like a pair of medieval Vikings.
Yep.
And so...
people are, like, making comments and, like, looking at them, being like, okay, weirdos.
And Henry V, the play of Henry V is what they come up with, which...
yeah.
probably the best they could do in these circumstances.
You know, and it says, like, she says, like, Bracken's a pretty good talker. Like, it even got the police off their backs because they have been questioned by the police, and, no, Bracken talked their way out of it.
Yes, indeed. So, they don't have any communication with the shapeshifter they're tracking down. But all they know is from the Sphinx that the L8 Eternal is the next target that had been found by Nagi Luna. So they got there first instead of going to Texas, which probably would have been faster, honestly, but...
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, why didn't they go to Texas first? Doesn't make sense.
I guess they just knew one was a target, so they wanted to shore up the bets and try to get multiple.
Or maybe they knew the more specific location of the one in... because, I mean, we knew about the one in Texas and California, but maybe...
Nico told him, though.
No, I'm talking about the society. Maybe they only knew about California first, so they went there first, and then they found Texas.
I have a suspicion about how they found Texas. I guess it didn't take them too long between finding Rune, because, like, once Nagi and Luna gets the... but still, there's a moment where I'm like, that was the stupidest thing you could have done. But we'll see.
Well...
But
okay,
yeah,
so they're in
Mark first and goes after him.
Yeah, and they're in communication with Nico, who's still on his way because he's a little slower.
Just picturing him
also all the way across the continent from the East Coast.
I'm just picturing him as a dolphin, like hopping over the waves to speak to Bracken through the communicator underneath, and then speaking. I know he could do it through the mind, probably,
anyway,
but it's
Nico tells them that they're looking for a cat,
a black and white cat specifically. And so they manage to find the cat as they're dodging questions. And Kendra nearly gets waylaid, but eventually catches up to Bracken, who is
the cat runs away, and then they're chasing after her, and they're trying to run through a group of teenagers, And Kendra, like, kind of gets knocked down. And one of the teenagers sees her crossbow, and they're like, is that a real crossbow? And she's like, no, of course it's not. If it was, I'd shoot my boss. I'm only getting paid minimum wage. Yeah. Trying to cover up, and then keeps going.
So she finally catches up to Bracken, who's cornered the cat and is, like, talking it down like a nervous horse. Like, calm down, don't run away.
I'm not here to hurt you. We're here to help.
And, like, the cat speaking with a human voice, just like Nico can's, like, who's the girl? She's not a unicorn, because obviously he's already played that card. It's probably his best one.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's very kind, she's with me, we just want to try and help your Eternal. Where is he? And it turns out that this shapeshifter, who's been called Tux, is been guarding an Eternal named Marcus is his full name, but he goes by Mark.
Yeah.
And he's not in the best mental space at this point.
No. He says that the years have eroded his morals, basically. In the beginning, Mark was committed to the cause, but the centuries have worn away at him, and now he wants to die, basically.
He's never gone so far as to actually find something that can actually kill him, because, as we know, Eternals can only be killed by
very specific things.
Powerful, magical substances. Not Phoenix Tears, those heal, obviously. Chamber of Secrets.
Well, I was about to say, kind of like a Horcrux.
Yeah, exactly like a Horcrux. Eternals are Harry. Harry is an Eternal. And Harry is an Eternal.
Eternals are Horcruxes.
You know, this actually brings to, like, could Harry be killed?
Or would he always just be coming back to life?
Like, obviously, like, Avada Kedavra could kill him, but, like, can he not get sick, maybe? Like, he can't, like, just...
He could probably still get sick.
But he, like, won't die from, like, pneumonia or something like that.
If he died, wouldn't he just come back? I don't really understand
I guess it has to be damaged beyond repair is the technical definition.
I don't know.
And human bodies can
I'm not the Potterhead in this house, so...
Human souls can be damaged beyond repair a lot easier than a lock.
Anyway, let's get back to the series where I actually have a podcast about.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so Tux is been basically tethered to this man who has lost all will to live, and so even though he's never sought out the actual
things that could actually kill him, he still does things like jumping off of bridges and driving motorcycles into oncoming traffic. Like,
because he just doesn't have any motive to live left. He's
very cynical. Jaded, you know. And so Tux, they're saying, like, well, the society is on our heels and they will kill him. And Tux is like, well, maybe the reality of actual death will make Mark come to his senses. So
snap him out of it.
Let's go see.
And so it's very clear once they get close that Tux and Mark's relationship has soured.
Yeah.
Tux mentions that it was, like, early on, they were companions, they had a good time, but at this point, like, even his name, Tux, because he's a black and white cat, and like, looks like he's wearing a tuxedo, like, Mark intends it as an insult towards Tux.
Yeah.
Like, he takes swipes at him during their conversations, he resents, he's kind of focused all of his bitterness and anger at, like, still being alive, and focused it on Tux as the only available receptacle for his anger and grief.
Hence why Tux has kept his distance of, like, he keeps, like, a little bit of a bubble between him and Mark, like, unless he knows he's in trouble. Yeah.
But he can't be too close, otherwise it's just not gonna do well for either.
There's a lot of vitriol at him.
Good word.
Yeah.
So they managed to get close, and they explained who they are, that they know who Mark is, and, like, Mark is completely unmoved by their sentiments. He's like, I don't care. Maybe I used to be like you guys, and it's great that you still have that hope, but I'm done.
Dude, when he starts talking like, I am a lock to a prison, he's like, I'm not even really a person anymore. Like, what I want doesn't matter. I'm like, dang. you know, to a certain extent, he kind of has a point, but it doesn't supersede the fact that keeping the demons in prison is, like, more important than anything.
He's like, it's like, his first thing he says, like, it's about time.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's about time. Like, this was never gonna work. It was never gonna keep them out forever. I'm done. And, like, he's like, how am I supposed to, I'm not insane. My only friend is a talking cat. And here I've got a unicorn dressed as a Viking telling me to go live with dragons. I'm done. He's just past any caring.
And I actually really like that one of the Eternals we find is just kind of, like, over it, you know? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like it wouldn't be all that realistic to have all of them be super, like, into their, I don't know, like, I don't want to say job. It's not a job. It's
their
like
duty.
Their duty. And I think it's really, you know, interesting to have one that's become so, what's the word? Like, disillusioned with the cause. And, like, having lost sight of why he even did it in the first place. Mm-hmm. I think it's really interesting.
But even then, he says, like, he remembers why he volunteered.
Yeah.
It was a volunteer.
This was only by volunteer.
He remembers why he did it. He just simply didn't understand what it would cost him.
Yeah, he says to keep on living and living and living. And
like, he says even, like, you don't spend years getting mugged by hobos and chased off park benches until you're pretty close to gone. He's like, just go focus on the other Eternal. Leave me here. Let me die.
And it makes me wonder if Mark had different circumstances, like if it wasn't so, like, hobo-y, like poor, I don't know, and, like, tried to create a life, would he be better off? Would he have become like this? Or was this kind of inevitable based on, like, his views and his, like, experiences? I don't know. Yeah. Interesting. It's also interesting to think about him in comparison to, like, someone like Bracken, who is technically, like, a magical creature, and, like, this is kind of like his normal state is immortality, whereas Mark was a human, a mortal who was given immortality for, like, a certain purpose, and how they have, like, differing experiences, and how their experiences differ based on the fact that they're immortal or mortal, you know?
I would like to counter that. Thank you for a great lead-in, because this is what I was talking about.
There you go.
Okay, so, back when I mentioned, like, Bracken gave up his horn. Mm-hmm. He gave up his form. He gave such an integral part of himself to this cause. Mark did a very similar thing. He gave up his mortality.
Yeah.
And both of those things cost them immeasurably. Everything. And I would just like to bring up some of the words that Bracken uses to try to inspire Mark back to the cause. Bracken says, I can sympathize with you. Life can wear a man down. Because Bracken, even though he is a unicorn, he has spent hundreds of years without his horn living among humanity. Living with them, beginning to understand them, and growing. And being in prison and hundreds of years having that wear on him in similar ways that life is wearing on Mark.
Yeah.
He's like, life can wear a man down, especially a long life on the run. Still, mistake or not, you have to fulfill your duty. The stakes are too high. This is not the time to let your existential crisis come to a head. And then Mark responds with, this is exactly the time. Do you know how long I've been waiting for this? I've toyed with death, sure, mostly to sample the illusion of an end, to pretend I had some control over my fate. But I've never set out a dragon or a phoenix to conclude my life prematurely. If I had a mind to it, I could have. Now a natural end is coming. Not suicide, just the inevitable finally catching up. After all these centuries, I have a right to stop fighting. Then Bracken comes back with, you don't have that right. If this was just you, I'd agree. But you can't let the world pay for your mistake. This became about more than just yourself the day you agreed to keep Zizix closed. How many times do you think Bracken has had this exact conversation with himself since he has given up his horn? Especially when he was imprisoned by the Sphinx. How many times was he probably like, if I could get my horn back, if I could take it away and break the artifact and take back my horn, the Font of Immortality, and just, I could resume my life as a normal in the fairy realm and not have to worry about all of this. It wouldn't have cost me everything. But then he still has to, he always comes back to, I think, this exact point. I don't have that right, even if it's hurting me, if it's hurting my mentality, my mental health, because I made this agreement. If it was a mistake, I still signed up, I volunteered, and I have to live with that. And I have to do everything to continue living with that. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, we have this perfect dual comparison between the two of them. Both of them having given up something important, integral to who they are as people, and then having to live with that for centuries.
Yeah.
And having to deal with the pros and the cons of that decision.
I love that. That's such a good point. Like, the duality of them both, because, you know, like you said, Bracken's had to deal with the same, and he's been worn down. He's been in prison for hundreds of years, but I think that just shows the difference between them, that Bracken isn't willing to give up, because if he does, not only will he lose everything, everyone loses everything. Mm-hmm. And he's not willing to make that sacrifice. But Mark is at the end of his rope, and he isn't the kind of person to continue on past his, I don't know, breaking point.
And I would like to bring up a quote from Bracken from earlier in this very section, back in the Rune chapter. Bracken says, "Any creature hates a cage, and any creature can cope if he tries." Mark gave up. Bracken is still trying.
Yeah.
So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh, that was really good.
I had that realization when I was reading this earlier, and I was like, holy crap, that was brilliant writing.
No, it's a lot deeper than
very impressive.
And this is why I like to do close readings like this, because it's something I never noticed before.
No,
but it's obviously there, because Bracken's literally saying, like, I know how you feel, bro. Like, exactly what you just said.
But Mark just does not care. At that point,
No.
even after Bracken gave that rousing speech, he just claps his hands over his ears and just says,
he doesn't want to face it.
I'm done.
He doesn't want to face it.
And when it comes down to it, he runs, and even when they're doing everything in their power, they said, we'll take you to Wormroost, they will keep you under lock and key, because Mark straight up swears, like, if you take me to Wormroost, there are plenty of dragons, and one of them will guaranteed kill me. But they said, we will keep you under lock and key at Wormroost, that's our only shot. Raxus, take him and go. But right before he can get out,
the wyverns show up.
The wyverns show up from all directions.
And their enemies are upon them.
So.
And then when that happened, Bracken's like, Raxus, take Mark, Tux, and Kendra and get out of here. And Kendra's like, wait, no! And yeah.
But Raxus is with Bracken on this one.
Yeah. Raxus goes, and Bracken faces the enemies that are running towards him on the beach, basically.
And
they get attacked by some wyverns, get dropped in the ocean.
I'm just picturing that fight. Like, Kendra's, like, fighting to surface from the water after, like, being dropped into the... Like, actually, I think Raxus crashed into the water with them.
Yeah.
And she gets out, and I imagine she can just hear Raxus fighting the wyverns in the water near her, and she's just like, where is up, where is down? And Mark, at this point, is just done. He's raising his hands up to the sky, praying for a wyvern to grab him and take him to somebody who will dispatch him.
Yeah.
And when one does grab him, even when Kendra's hanging on to him, trying to get a lift out of the water, he kicks her off, leaving her to swim to shore by herself. And so, Raxus is busy dealing with the wyverns that came at him. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. Bracken is dispatching 2 or 3 swordsmen that came at him on the beach. And the wyvern who gets Mark manages to deposit him right in front of Torina.
And the Grey Assassin. Yep. And as Kendra is trying to make her way over, and Bracken, because at this point Bracken has disposed of the other ones, I think, the Grey Assassin kills Mark.
Easily. Mark literally rips open his shirt to bare his chest.
He's literally like, do it already. It's insane.
Honestly, the number of, like, books and I think stories that deal with the weight of immortality. Like, we have this. We have, the Heralds from Stormlight Archive. Like, every story about vampires. Like...
How long have you been 17, Cure? There's another reference to mark off the list. Anyway.
There's just, like, so many different depictions in media of just how terrible it is.
Yeah.
For mortal beings to become immortal is, like, the greatest curse.
Because it's only worth it if everyone around you is also immortal.
Mm-hmm. Like, even just, like, you hear, like, elderly people talking about, like, as they're continuing to live, like, their friends, their spouses.
They outlive everyone that they've
outlive
known.
Everybody until it's just them left. And sometimes, like, they don't have close relationships with their children or any other family.
It's a lonely existence.
It's just being alone.
Yeah.
It's just, like, why do so many people still wish for immortality? Like,
because people fear death.
That's
Voldemort.
True. Yes. Yeah, that's literally the name. Isn't that...
Kelsier.
No, isn't, like, the name of Voldemort literally mean fearing death?
Probably.
Because Mort, like, mortician.
Morte.
That is, like, the Latin. But Vold is usually... I think Vold is something.
It's gotta be.
But anyways. But yeah, like so many people just fear death where they think immortality is the answer. But no, it is not. No, it is not.
It goes back to the, like, what Bracken said, like, being a unchanging being in a temporal world. He's able to do it. He's able to do it because he was born immortal. Like,
he is still technically
that's
an immortal
his
being.
nature. But to change your nature from mortal to immortal
is
a lot harder from immortal to mortal.
Even him, as an immortal creature,
still struggles with it.
But even then, because he went from the fairy world, which is an unchanging realm, to the human world, which is a changing world. He does still have the escape that he can go back to the fairy realm, but he has to still deal with the fact that he's different without having his third horn. So he's, like, become more comfortable in the human world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But even then, he's then not immortal among the mortal.
Yeah, it's just a reoccurring theme across a lot of, like, fantasy and media, like, fiction. Yeah. So it's a really interesting theme that Brandon Mull delves into a lot, which I really like. So yeah, that's 4 out of 5 Eternals gone,
including Tux.
Yeah, that's true. Tux is dead too.
He could. He even had one of the best jokes of this entire chapter. When Mark is, like, pinned down by Raxus and they're about to take him to Wormroost, Mark glares at Tux and goes, "Anything to say for yourself?" And Tux just goes, "Meow." Specifically saying that he says it as a human would speak it.
It's so funny.
And it's just like, but he changed into a falcon
and he tried to stop him, yeah.
He attacked the Grey Assassin in an attempt to get him to leave Mark alone. But he just got cut down and dissolved once Mark was gone.
Oh, we also skipped over the similar thing we were talking about when Seth was facing down the centaur.
Yes!
Kendra faced down the wyvern that was attacking her.
Yep, exactly. She didn't do much, to be fair, but she swung the sword.
Okay, well, don't say just because it's Kendra.
You're right. That was me.
Thank you.
But it was just like, and she also has a different mentality. Seth is like, no one else can come to kill me. I have to face this by myself. For Kendra, it's right after, hang on, where is it? It's right after
they killed
It's
Mark.
right after she watched Mark die and dissolve into dust. You know, gotta keep that.
Also, Tarina just shot an arrow at Bracken.
And Raxus warns Kendra. She turns and she's like, with rage and frustration, she swung her sword over her head. It rings against razor claws and the sword flies from the grasp. She falls to the sand and the wyvern's swiping claws miss her by inches. So it's not as graceful as Seth's. It's more fueled by anger and rage.
Well, she had to do it differently. He could just dive out of the way. She, took a swipe at it.
Yeah, she took a swipe. Probably if she was thinking more clearly, she would have tried to dodge like Seth did.
Yeah.
But again, you are right. This is what I was talking about the other moment where she is also showing her growth. Instead of just waiting to be saved,
she's not backing down.
She can back down. No, I won't back down. Do you know that song?
What was that?
I think it's like an old 80s song.
I was thinking the camp rock song. We can't back down. Okay.
Isn't that what the beat is?
It's like, we can't back down.
And there's a cowbell, yeah.
Not right. Yes, there's
That's
a cowbell.
Alright.
Anyway.
Ding.
Rax just takes out the wyvern, and the society people go out in their Hummer now that they've killed Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bracken comes over. Oh, this part. Tires squealing, the Hummer roared out of the parking lot. Kendra and Raxus joined Bracken beside the wet army jacket and jeans. Bracken smoldered impotently. His eyes softened when he saw Kendra. Hang on.
He's smoldering, though. He's smoldering.
I see is more like his eyes are burning with frustration.
He's probably, like,
it's
absolutely...
not, it's...
But
it's not Flynn Rider smolder.
But it could probably... It's probably
It's not what it means, though. He's
probably
mad.
Still very attractive.
He's angry.
No, you're right. You're right. That's
smoldering is like the fire within.
I know that's what it means, and that's what it's referring to, but Flynn Rider has changed the context of that word. I'm just saying, Kendra's probably admiring the view.
Oh my gosh. Well, he's admiring it back, because his eyes soften when he sees her.
Focus, Megan, focus.
Focus, Bracken. And Kendra.
And immediately he's like, are you alright? And she's like, I'm fine, I'm just pissed.
Yeah. He's like, so am I. And this is where Raxus is like, yep, I took out all the wyverns.
Yeah, they have this really fragile spot, and also, my scales are too awesome, they can't penetrate them.
I'm actually not as bad as I thought I was, like we were saying earlier, so. It was the magic swords from the Great Assassin that killed him. The hilts were made of dragon teeth, and the blades were enchanted. The magic must have been equivalent to dragon breath. And then Torina has a few arrows fletched with phoenix feathers.
Which we know is what actually killed Rune.
Mm-hmm. The fire from the phoenix, yeah. It
mentions that Nico specifically saw that a woman
with an
phoenix-fletched arrows finally found her mark.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid Torina. And, they mentioned, okay, now we gotta get to Texas. And this is what pisses me off. Because, our enemies have the Oculus. They can see anything. I wonder if maybe they're watching this confrontation and they might pay attention to us for a few minutes. Let's say loudly where the last Eternal is. Out loud.
It's true. Maybe they didn't even have to find them. They were just spying on them to know where. That's a good point. Didn't think of that.
I understand at this point they're like, they'll find him anyways, we have to go for speed, but maybe, Bracken has the ability to speak telepathically. Let's not speak things out loud!
It's a fair point. They're not really thinking about that right now. They're kind of defeated a little bit. This chapter ends on a sour note.
Yeah.
They've lost the other Eternal. Now there's only one left. And after that Eternal is dead, the Sphinx can open... Not the Sphinx.
I was gonna say.
Growlithe and Nagi Luna can open the prison.
Bum bum bum.
And that's the end of the chapters for today. Alright, so that was today's chapters. Next time, the next chapter will be Vassilis. So that'll be fun.
Oh, very fun.
That'll be very fun. This was a fun set. It was also a faster set of chapters. Yeah. This episode wasn't 3 hours, guys. I hope you're happy. I don't know, maybe you like the 3 hours, but it's kind of nice, especially for editing purposes.
Oh, yeah, man.
But it's not 3 hours.
We'll probably cut this down to under 2.
Yeah, thankfully. We can get it down under 2 for the first time. This book, probably.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen for the rest of the book, let's be honest here.
Let's see. So there's only 2 episodes left after this.
Yeah, that's what we're projecting.
We are fast approaching the finale. Oh, it's so good. All right, so because we're getting close to the end of not just Fablehaven Book 5, but also the series, the first 5 at least, we want to ask you, our audience, what you would like to see from us next. So the next series we plan to cover is Beyonders. But before we start Beyonders, we want to do maybe a few episodes or even videos on different things. So what we're going to do is when this episode is posted, as of right now, for you, go to our YouTube channel, and in the community tab, we are going to have a poll with a few different options of what you guys want to see from us next. Mm-hmm. So you can either comment what you want to see or vote on the poll, and it will be open until the last episode airs.
So probably around 2 to 4 weeks.
2 to 4 weeks from this episode airing. So some of the options that we'll probably do will be tier lists or like discussions on that kind of thing.
We've also posited a battle royale from some of the best villains, some of the villains among the different series.
Or we could talk, some people have asked us to talk about fanfics, as we kind of talked a little bit about today. And we'll have some more ideas and things. Or if you guys want to see, we've only done one like tier list video, but if you guys want to see more like videos from us, let us know.
We could do like tier lists of like protagonists, antagonists,
or theories or things like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Just let us know like what we want to know, what you guys want us to talk about and what you guys want us to cover, other than just the commentaries on the books that we've been doing. Because it's crazy. We're coming to the end of Fablehaven. Like, that's wild.
It gives us a good bookend, a good chance to do something in between, a nice little break from the normal.
Yeah.
To
do something new, which is exciting. So let us know in the comments on our YouTube, or you can email us what you guys want to see, because we want you guys to feel involved in this, involved in the discussion, and not just always be us yapping to ourselves, though we will always also do that, obviously.
Also, I sometimes struggle with decision making, so we're going to make you guys choose instead.
Yeah, she does. She's like, Megan, I don't want to make the decision. Tell me what to do. And I'm like, okay, fine.
And then I walk out of the
But then I'm like,
crown.
Is that what you guys want? I don't know. So it would be great to have some feedback. Mm-hmm. We welcome all feedback. Mm-hmm. Just keep it civil. But yes.
And of course, you guys know where to get that feedback to us.
Yep. You can email us at nightsofdawnpodcast@gmail.com or leave a comment on our YouTube, as always. Thank you for listening to today's episode. We appreciate you.
Especially your patience from that accidental hiatus.
Yeah. Also, just know there will be a more planned hiatus after the end of these episodes. Mm-hmm. Probably a month or two. We will get more episodes out before the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So it won't go on for too long, but...
And we'll keep you updated this time.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated. But other than that, we appreciate you tuning in today. Please leave us a like if you like it. If you know anyone that also reads Brandon Mole's series, tell them about our podcast, maybe. We like to grow our community and just, get the word out a little bit. Mm-hmm. And if there's any more updates upcoming on the movie, we'll be sure to let you guys know. But as of right now, we've not heard anything, except Jessica is showing me that maybe she knows something.
Not about the movie specifically, but we did get the update about the new series from
yes,
Brandon Mole.
I forgot. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So we will talk about that more in depth, probably in our next episode, since we're already wrapping this one up.
Yes, but a few weeks ago, Brandon posted the cover reveal and release date for his next series, The Guardians.
The Guardians series, first book called The Forbidden Mountain.
Yeah, that's the one that we've been talking about for forever, but it comes out in April, I believe next year.
I'm checking to be sure, but that sounds correct.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And I was like, man, we should talk about that next time, and I forgot. Oh, okay. It's fine.
Yes, the tagline is Choose Your Guardian, Choose Your Destiny, on sale April 7th of next year.
April 7th.
Which is crazy, because I remember when he was first, discussing this, a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, 2026, that sounds so far away. Literally next year now. That's just fine.
It's 7 months away.
It's not
8 months away.
It's terrifying how time is progressing so quickly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
so, yeah, well, I guess that'll be the end of this episode. Catch us doing that in the next episode. Until next time, I'm Megan.
And I'm Jessica.
See ya.
Drink the milk.